So this is the first question out of all of the questions that I'm going to be doing for the preliminary 2024 paper. So I decided to go over this one instead because it's the recent one that you guys have did. And I feel like there are probably revision videos on this one already. Not on this one, sorry, on the... there are revision videos on last year's paper for NSC. So I want to go over this one because I feel it's probably good to do that. So let's actually start immediately. So question 1 says the following, right? So we are dealing with statistics. So what we have first over here, during a congress that took place in July, okay, so that's not really important, the month is not important, the ages of the 100 members, okay, there is important information, who attended were recorded in the following table. Okay, so what this over here is implying is this is our frequency table. This is our frequency table, right? It includes the range, the bin range of the data, and this over here is basically the frequency. So it's the number within these certain ranges. So there's 8 people in this range of X is between 15 and 25, 14 people is between that, and so on and so forth. So the first question says over here, 1.1, calculate the value of A. So what we note over here, right, is like I said, this is the total number of people that are in this frequency table. And you can even see over here the number of people in those ranges. So we need to determine the value of A. And in order to do that, we need to take all of these values and put it in an equation such that it is equal to 100. So let's start with that. So the first part we are going to be doing is we are going to take our A value and we're going to make it equal to 100. So the reason why is because we're going to say A plus all of the numbers that are from our frequency table on the second column. So we're going to add every single number over here, and then we are going to make it equal to 100. But what we can do is we can actually just already make A the subject of the formula, but we take the total, and then we take all of the numbers over to the other side, such that they're all going to be minus. Instead of plussing, it's going to be minusing. So we're taking it away from 100. So it's going to be 8 minus 8 minus 14 minus 22. So it's going to be minus 8 minus 14 minus 22. And then our next ones over here is going to be minus 37 minus 3. And then you have to just put all of this into the calculator and you'll get the following answer. And therefore, we will get an answer of 16 people. And that is our answer for A. So the next question is 1.2, another easy one over here. It says write down the modal class of the given data. Modal is just another way of saying, should do this, mode, which means the most. Appears the most, I should just say. It appears the most. Okay. So which data appears the most? So let's look at the number of people, right? So we know that our A value is actually going to be equal to, so I'm just going to say equal to 16. So now we know all of our numbers, and we can clearly see that from the number of people for each bin range, we have 37, which is the highest one. And 37 is in correlation to, within the range of 45 and 55. So the answer of this question for 1.2 will be X is less than 45 and it's greater than 45 and less than or equal to 55. Let me just double check if that was correct. Yes, that was correct. So that is going to be question 1.2. So once again, that is going to be 1 mark over here like that. Let's go to the next question. So 1.3 says complete the cumulative frequency column in the table given in answer book. So I assume that you guys answered the questions on an answer booklet, but for now I'm going to be doing this without the answer booklet. So I'm just going to add the extra column so that we can answer the questions from there, and you'll see what it will look like. Okay, so here's our new column, which is the cumulative frequency, right? And how do we do the cumulative frequency? So the first thing we need to note is that it's going to be, so the first row of the cumulative frequency is going to start with 8, right? So just note that this 8 is the first number of the from the second row is always going to start off the same. And then how we continue is the following. And now I'm erasing everything. Great. So how we're going to continue is the following method over here. We're going to take this 8 and we are going to add it with the next number in the second row, column, and that's going to be 8 plus 14, right? Which is going to give us an answer of 8 plus 14, which is equal to 22. And then we're going to do the same thing again, but for the next row. So it's going to be 22 plus 22, which gives us, if we add it together, we're going to get an answer of 44. And then if we do this over here, if we add these two together, we're going to get 44 plus 37, which is equal to 77. And then if we add so it will give us 77. If we add 77 with 16, we're going to get an answer of, I just realized that I kind of gave the wrong answer here. It's not 77. It's actually 81. I just quickly calculated. I was looking at it again. I was like, whoa, that can't be correct. Okay, so 44 plus 37 is actually 81. My bad. So 81 plus 16, which we actually calculated. That's why I said put it into your table immediately, so that you at least know what to do with the cumulative frequency. We're going to say 81 plus 16, which is actually going to give us an answer of 97. It has to be 97. Can't be anything else here. And then we take the 97. We're going to add it with 3, and therefore we're going to get 100. And note that in your cumulative frequency, it is basically, the final number is, or the final roll will always be the total number of people, which is 100 people. And that is how you know you got it correct. If you get this number of over here at the end, which is the number of people that attended, let's say for example in this one, therefore you have done the correct thing. And that is your 2 marks. Your 2 marks, I think it was 2 marks like for the data and for your final answer. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the memo for this one, but I'm doing the stuff as I go. So in the next question, 1.4, it says the following. So the following question, it was 1.4. So we have here, draw a cumulative frequency graph, which is an ogive over here, to represent the data on the grid provided in the answer book. Now, once again, I don't have an answer book here, so I'm going to be basing it off of rough work over here. So what I want you to do is understand what I'm going to be doing. So this is how we're going to start, right? And before I actually read the question out loud over here, I did read the question over here now, but I got some information ready over here. So an ogive is basically the range over here. So in your you remember your x, right? So your x-axis indicates the years, the age in this case, right? And your other axis therefore has to be the y-axis, right? Your cumulative frequency, because remember it said a cumulative frequency graph. So therefore it will look like this, right? We have a graph like this. So the highest number is going to be 100, but once again, we don't normally end off at 100. We would end off maybe a little bit above 100. So let's do 110. Or actually, you know what? We're going to do it in parts of 20. So let's rather do it 120 rather. So we have 120, then we have 100, and then we're going to have 100 and, sorry, not 9, nope, not 90, 80, yay, my math. We're going to have 60, we're going to have 80, not 80, 40, and then we're going to have 20, my fault, and then we're going to have 0. Okay. So now we're going to draw, that is our y-axis, right? And then we're going to have our x-axis over here, like this. And then our x-axis is going to be decided by the number of years. So let's do it between, so we need to do it from, all the way from 15, all the way until 75, right? Because that's the 15 is the lowest number, and 75 is the highest. So remember what we need to do. We just need to do it in intervals. So let's say we're going to do it in intervals of 15, if that would make it a little bit easier. So we're going to start from 0, and we're going to go all the way to, I think the highest that we can go is about 90. So let's do it from 0 until 90. So we're going to do it in intervals of 15. So this one is going to be about 15. This one's going to be 30. Okay, maybe let me not make it so close to each other. This is going to be 30. This is going to be 45. This is going to be 60. This is going to be 75. I know these ones are exactly on 175, but we would normally like to increase it a little bit longer. So this is going to be 75 plus 15, which is equal to 90. And don't forget to label your stuff over here, your axes. This axis over here will be the cumulative frequency. For now, you need to label it in full. But for now, because I am doing a rough sketch over here, I'm going to be doing it in short. And then over here would be the age in years. Because remember, that's what they gave us, the age in years. Now what we have to do is look at our table. So I separated into the age and the cumulative frequency. It's basically the two variables that we are dealing with, which is the x and y. So the first one, between 15 and 25, so which means it's going to be somewhere around here. Let's say that 25 lies somewhere here, right? Between 15 and 25, we are going to have from 0 until 8. We know we're going to have a final value over here of 8, right? So we're going to put 8. So 8 would maybe lie somewhere over here. I'm just going to write it like this. It's going to be 8. And then therefore, remember, it's going to start at 0. Then it's going to go to 8 over here by 25, right? And then what we're going to have, so let me just maybe zoom out a little bit so we can have a little bit more viewing room over here. Like this. Okay, cool. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at the next one, which is from 25 until 35. So 35 could be maybe around here, 35. Once again, remember that you have your answer booklet, and I'm just doing the rough one over here. So we're going to have from 25 to 35 over here. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be, let's say 22. So it's up to 22, basically. So let's say 22 is around here. And it's going to be around, let's say here, because it's in line with this one here and this. Okay, now our next step is going to be to do from 35 until 45. So we can see it's from here to there. And at 45, it's going to be 44. So let's say 44 is going to be around here. I'm going to draw a nice line over here. And there we go. That shows that it's in line over there. Okay. And then our next part over here, let me just draw that, is going to be from 45 until 55, which is going to be, let's say 55 is around here. And then our 81 is going to be our next value over here. Let's say 81 is around here. And then our 81 links all the way horizontally until 55, which is over here. So therefore, our point would be around here. And then our last one, which is going to be from 65. Wait, no, sorry, our second last one, I just realized, it's going to be until 65, right? So 65 is over here, and it goes all the way until what is our other number here? It is 97. So 97 would be around here. So it's going to be about here, and then let's say it's around here. And therefore, over here, our last one from 65 to 75, so over here, it's going to be all the way to 100, like that. So it's going to be, let's say, around here, because it's in line with 75 and 100. Okay, and then if we just draw, remember, our ogive, now we have to draw our line over here. And in your answer booklet, I'm pretty sure it will actually be a more curved line according to the scale. I don't know why it's doing that now. It will look something like this, basically. So it'll have some line like so, right? Most probably. I don't know how it exactly looks like, since mine is not the best. But I'm not going to be drawing it all the time. So it'll look something like that, but a little curved, I guess. Okay. So that is our answer for the ogive now. So we have done the graph, and that was about 3 marks. So it would have been the easy 3 marks because you already provided the graph. I hope that clears your understanding of an ogive if you didn't understand what an ogive was. Also, just one thing, by the way, we need to obviously we need to label this with a heading, right? So I forgot to do that in the beginning. Our heading will be as follows. So in the question over here, right, our heading was either cumulative frequency graph or it could be an ogive. Remember the ogive they gave us in brackets. So what we can do is we can call this the ogive. In this case over here. Remember, we need to tell them what we are doing. ogive is normally just in terms of the age, or not age, whatever your X data is, and cumulative frequency. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the last one. So 1.5 is an interesting one, right? I had to take a little bit of a moment to process it, but then it was kind of straightforward. So what they're saying over here by 1.5, the Congress organizers discovered that there was a mistake made, that 3 people counted in the range 45, so X is between 45 and 55, should have been counted in the range of this. So exactly what they are saying over here is the following, right? They are saying that over here, the range of 45, where X is between 45 and 55, we should actually consider, we need to take these 3 people out that were accidentally put in, and we have to put them into this range of X is between 35 and 45. So therefore, what we're going to be doing is, where we're going to minus this range here by 3, then we are going to put them back here into this new range. So therefore, we're going to get this range having 25 people, and this range having 34 people. So that's what it should be, right? And then now from this part, let's continue the question. Calculate the estimated average age of the people who attended the Congress after the mistake was corrected. So we should remember our average formula, right? Our average formula is going to be the mean, right? So it's our mean. X bar is equal to the sum of all readings all over the number of readings, right? So what are we talking about over here? Our number of readings is actually the amount of people, the amount of members, right? So there were 100 readings, and they were all put into a frequency table, and then they were distributed into certain data, right? So 100 members, which is the number of readings. So we already know that it's going to be, geez, this thing is really going crazy. It's going to be X bar, or the mean, is going to be equal to, we're going to get to our top part now, it's going to be all over 100 members, right? And now we have to take the sum of all of those readings, right? But because we have this frequency table with us, right, we're going to do the following. We're going to have, so we have our new numbers, which is 25 and 34, just remember that. Over here, we're going to take these ranges, but if we're going to look at a number that is between X, so X is between these two numbers, so 15 and 25, we are going to take a number that's exactly in the middle of those two. And we know that the number between those two, which is going to be the difference between the two, let's say 25 minus 15, is just going to be equal to 5, right? Or not, sorry, not, let's not do that, sorry, that's not the correct approach. The number between 15 and 25 is going to be 20, right? Because if we say 20 minus 5, and here if we say 20 plus 5, we'll get these exact numbers over here, right? So that is why we use 20. And what we are going to be doing in our information here, the first one is going to be where it's between 15 and 25, it's going to be the following over here. I think let me just use this because it is going crazy here. So it's going to be 20 multiplied by, I think your teacher has taught you this already, and then it's going to be the first one, which is going to be 8 people, right? So it's going to be 20, which is the value between the range over there, multiplied by the number of people in that range, which is going to be equal to 8 over here. Then we're going to have to add, remember it's the sum, meaning that we're going to add all of them together. The next one is going to be in this range over here, which is going to be, so then let's just use this over here. Sorry about the dog, by the way. We have a number between 25 and X, sorry, an X over here, which is between 35 and 25. And if you agree with me, I would say that would be 30, right? Because 30, if we're minusing 5 with 30, we're going to get 25. And if we're adding 5 with 30, we're going to get 35. You can see how 30 actually lies between those numbers. So we take that number and then we multiply it by the number of people in that range, which is 14. So it's going to be 30 multiplied by 14 plus, and then over here I'm going to do this. Remember, now our next set of values is going to be 25, and then it's going to be 34, right? So it's going to be the value between 35 and 45, which I'm just going to say is 40, right? Because of this. So from this information, you should know why I picked 40. And then we're going to say 40 multiplied by 25. Then we're going to add, and the next one, from between 45 and 55, it's going to be 50. And then we're going to multiply it by 34. And then between 55 and 65, we're going to have 60. And we're going to multiply it by 16, which is the number of people in that range. And then between our 65 and 75, we're going to have 70. And we're going to multiply that by 3. So let's just do that right now. I hope you followed it. If you didn't follow, then please go back and then listen to it again. But we're going to have 40. I think it was multiplied by 25. And then we have plus 50, which is multiplied by 34. Plus, I just need to go back just to make sure quickly. So it was 40 multiplied by 25 and 50 multiplied by 34. Yes, plus, and then we're going to have 60 multiplied by 16. So it's going to be 60 multiplied by 16 plus our 70 multiplied by our 3. And then what we're going to be doing over here is we're just going to, remember, you should have actually written all of this first, and then you can write down the denominator. And that will be your x bar, right? And therefore, we are going to do the following. We're going to say, therefore, x bar, sorry, the mean, the estimated mean will be equal to, you just put all of these values in your calculator and you get the following answer. And now you will get an answer of 44,5. And that is your mean over here. And it should actually be members. And that is your answer for the mean, and that's 1.5.